The doctor is in. Nourishing self-esteem in kids and teens is vital for their overall development and growth. There is now a virtual academy for kids around the globe to have access to increasing self-esteem. Joining us now to tell us more is Dr. Simone Alicia, the self-esteem doctor. Welcome to Bloom.
Thank you so much, Gail. Thank you.
Oh, this is such an important subject matter. So what brought you to become the self-esteem doctor?
Well, I actually had quite an interesting start being an elementary school teacher and then also modeling in the modeling industry. And from elementary to modeling, where these young adults are, I found that self-esteem was actually an issue from that range. So I had a really big interest in self-development. And with that and the experience of self-esteem, I'm like, all right, I think the self-esteem doctor needs to be born.
That's great. I'm glad you were born because, I mean, especially young girls really deal with self-esteem issues. So considering the world that we live in with social media and all the images out there, I would imagine it's important to start this at a very young age.
Absolutely. See, the kids are getting this foundation, right, of who they are and how they're handling things. And like you said, with social media and all these other influences, they need more tools. And so that's really how the self-esteem-doctor-academy.com came to be.
So walk me through how the Academy works. It's a global initiative to where really children from all over can tap into the resources.
Yes. So online classes, courses, videos, free resources, paid resources, everything to really help our kids understand self-esteem and understand how the mind works so they can feel more empowered and work on that mindset for the world that we live in today, of course.
And you actually have journals, and you have 3 of them on display right here in books. Walk us through what you have there.
For sure. So the journals, especially this one, the Runaway Thoughts, right? Sometimes we get into this place where our mind is just running and racing, right? And I like to teach that the way we build self-esteem is by being able to control those thoughts a bit and impact how we feel and get the outcomes we want. But sometimes when we're not writing it down, right? Everything's going everywhere. So to be able to write down those thoughts that are just kind of running away with you helps you to focus and really be able to calm that down and shift the direction of your thoughts.
Yeah, because a lot of times they are just thoughts. I mean, we're creating this narrative in our head that might not even exist, or we've only magnified it.
Exactly, 100%. So it's super important for me to provide these resources to help kids to be able to say, hey, I can focus these thoughts, I can realize these thoughts are just thoughts, and I have a little bit more power over them than I thought. So,
gives them a little bit of control. All right.
Yes.
So what about the next one?
So the release and refill is actually one of my favorites because sometimes you get really angry or overwhelmed, or you have a big negative emotion and it's just kind of going and going and going, and you want to release that. And so I found that when I write it out, just kind of like throw it on paper, it's a really great help. But it was a phase 1 help. So I said, let me see the second part of this. And it turns out that if we can refill with more positive thoughts, a little bit more focused, then we get better results from writing our thoughts out.
That's great. That's great. And then, like you say, refilling, a lot of times people say, refill your negative thoughts with thoughts of gratitude. I mean, more positivity
100%.
is what we need to do. All right, what's the last but not least?
Last but not least is actually, this one's not a journal, but it is a bulleted list of 33 ways we can reduce stress and raise self-esteem. And this book is also featured in the online academy, so people can access it digitally as well as here in print.
Oh, that's really cool. So what are some of the things? Can you give me a few of the highlight, your favorite steps?
For sure. So coming from the modeling background, I like to talk about our posture and the way that we're carrying ourselves, talking about breathing and the way we expand our lungs and get that circulation going throughout our bodies. I also talk about interesting tools that you've never heard of, like emotional freedom tapping and neuro-linguistic programming, but all in a way that people can relate to and use the tools every single day.
So how is all this being received? It sounds like just an incredible idea.
Amazing. I think parents are finally like, yes, I've got a tool. And the kids, I have the kids taking classes and then calling me, I need more classes. I want more videos. Give me more, right?
Yeah. So how, I mean, is it for kids all ages? Who can sign up for this?
Yeah, so all ages. And when you get to the academy, you'll actually see not only a welcome orientation to help you, but you're also going to see the age, gaps that we tend to. So we have the younger kids, we've got the teens, we've got the parents, resources for every person when you log on.
Man, I have 4 daughters, so I have to tell you, this fills my soul with joy to hear about this. Awesome. Well, Doctor, it's so great meeting you, and congratulations on a brilliant idea here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Likewise. Well, for more information, you can visit the self-esteem-doctor-academy.com, and we will be back with more Bloom right after this.